Everybody in the house, man. The tribe pulling in here deep. Legend Naga Charlie up in here. We call BS Podcast up here. Most hated Bronze Flat Power God up in it. Hey, we love you over here, Bronze Flat Power God. You ain't the most hated now. Enoch 0407, American Engine in the house. Nikki Sunflower in the house. Y'all loading up in here. Dunsmo family in the house. Quiet Storm Sean in the house. Salute, tribe up. Rocking out to that Tupac back. Now I hope Tupac hurry up and come on back, man. That's my nigga there. Salute to Tupac. And we always gotta say salute to Biggie too. Now that's our brethren too. Gotta say salute to Biggie Smalls. Anytime we say salute to Tupac, we just gotta salute Biggie. Anytime we salute Biggie, we gotta salute Tupac. We can't get around that. Man, y'all, we got a good show lined up once again, man. The use of racial and ethnic terms in America. Management by manipulation, my nigga. Salute.
Big dummy.
By manipulation.
Boom shakalaka.
Reclassified, my nigga. And we gonna dig into it. We're gonna go over a lot of truth. You know, we're gonna cover a lot of we're gonna cover some history. And we're gonna get back in the family tree one more time, my nigga. I hope y'all like that family tree work we did yesterday. And we looking at this thumbnail from a third eye point of view. Y'all know what it is, man. I mean, we ain't gotta talk about it, man. Naga feathered up. Naga feathered up.
Darkness, everybody! Everyone is ready!
Maywood.
Au bon sauvage. Au Négré l'Amérique.
Yeah, they know what they call us. That's why I got them samples on deck. I ain't gonna never let them forget it. Bone Savage. And L'Amérique Negre. We know who the real American Indian is, and we know who it ain't. And we're gonna dig into it with this show titled The Use of Racial and Ethnic Terms in America. Management by manipulation. I'm gonna show y'all what we about to talk about. We about to dig right on in it, man. I say one more time, salute to everybody in the house. I appreciate y'all for joining me one more time. Everybody do me a favor, hit the like, subscribe, share the video. Let's get this thing popping. Let's get off in there. Let's see if we can get off in this algorithm. And when we saying management by manipulation and the use of racial and ethnic terms in America, y'all know we talking about the N-word, calling people black, calling people colored, calling people white, calling people mulatto, just forgetting about ethnicity and nationality, just forgetting about what nation people come from, and we just calling them crayon colors, in other words. Some of them even derogatory, right? Well, let's talk about it, because it's historical. Old McDonald in the house. This use of racial and ethnic terms in America is historical. It lines up and it tells the history of America and what went down with colonization and with the indigenous people of America. The racial slurs and racial classifications got everything to do with it. When they created this two-caste system in America, you know, the colonizer said, you know, we're going to make it just two-way. We're going to make it white and black, right? So let's talk about it. And we're going to lay some foundation with this book from Jack Forbes, the Jack D. Forbes collection. Y'all heard of Jack D. Forbes. We use this source every now and then. Salute to Jack Forbes. And he got to have Jack Forbes. He mean well. He got maybe a halfway understanding of the truth, but he mean well. He just may not have the full understanding, overstanding, understanding, outerstanding. He you know, people trying to make sense of this stuff. They seeing Negro. They looking up Native American stuff, and they seeing Negro and black in the record, and they've been told it was a red man. They trying to make sense of this
before I make change.
They trying to make sense of this. They saying, wait a minute, Native American, we keep seeing Negro and black. They must have been slaves. See, that's how they get you. They must have been freedmen. They see, they look up Native American history, and they see the word, even if they look up the Trail of Tears, they see the word Negro and black so much. These modern historians, they draw conclusions. They say these had to be slaves. These had to be African Americans, even though the term ain't exist back then, right? But we gonna make some points with this. Now, this title of this Jack Forbes book is The Use of the Terms Negro and Black to Include Persons of Native American Ancestry in Anglo-North America. What is he saying with that title? What is he saying? Pete, what he's saying? The use of the terms, the use of the classifications, Negro and Black. The classifications, Negro and Black, included Native American ancestry. So basically, if you a real American Indian, or what they call the Native American, your ancestors' paperwork should have Negro and Black on it.
Boom shakalaka.
Because historically, that's what the history said. If you claim to be a real Indian, I don't care if you're on the Dawes Roll or not. I don't care if you think you a Creek Indian. I don't care if you think you a Cherokee, a Choctaw, if you a red man. If you claim to be a Native American or an Indian, your ancestors' papers should not only have Negro and Black on them, you should have ancestors whose paperwork say colored and mulatto also. These is the facts. This is historical evidence. Don't get mad at me. I know you're mad. It's not my fault. Now, get that out the way. In 1854, the California State Supreme Court sought to bar all non-whites, non-Caucasian, or in other words, non-whites, from equal citizenship. If you was a non-white, you couldn't get in. Remember the 3/5 compromise? If you wasn't a Caucasian, if you was a non-white, you could not have equal citizenship and civil rights. The court stated the word black, the classification black, may include all Negroes, but the term Negro does not include Kamala Harris.
You big dummy. Boom shakalaka.
One more time. The word black, this the Supreme Court wrote this. The word black may include all Negroes, but the term Negro does not include DJ Khaled.
You big dummy. Boom shakalaka.
The word black may include all Negroes, but the term Negro does not include Hindus from Hindustan. You see where we're going with this, right? The word black may include all Negroes, but the term Negro does not include everybody. Does not include all black persons. It don't include Kamala. It don't include Barack Obama. It don't include Drake. It don't include a couple of people, right?
They not like us.
We are of the opinion that the words white, Negro, mulatto, and black person. Look what they did now. Look what they did now. We are of the opinion that the words white, the classifications white, Negro, mulatto, and black person. Remember, they said Negroes can be included as a black person, but not all black person was Negroes. So the Negro, that's y'all, Kamala Harris, them down here on the black person, and DJ Khaled them, and then mulatto. let me stop messing with these political people. I got too many jokes. Whenever they occur, hold on, window security, somebody trying to hack me. Let me turn this off. Maybe I need to turn it on. Whenever they occur in our Constitution, must be taken in their generic sense, that the words black person in the 14th section must be taken as contradistinguished from white, and necessarily includes all races other than Caucasians. So if you ain't Caucasian, I guess everybody black in their eyes, but that don't mean everybody a Negro. Let's continue. As convoluted as the quote may be, they say this quote is convoluted. It's convoluted. As convoluted as the quote may be, it tends to express a strong tendency in the history of the U.S. toward creating two broad classes of people: white and non-white, citizen and non-citizen. So, okay, white and non-white. Who is the non-white? The Indians, right? We're talking colonization, right? We're talking them rolling up and exploring, Colombo and all of them, enslaving Indians. white and non-white, or white and black, right? Citizens and non-citizens. Colonizers is the citizens. They in the colonies. Who the non-citizens? The Indians, the blacks, right? Or semi-citizen. The tendency to create a two-caste society often clashed with the reality of a territory which included many different types of people. Now this his hijack. This Jack Forrest hijack, because he don't really understand. He don't really understand the full truth that the Negro is an Indian. He got a red man identity crisis of all colors in different degrees of intermixture of European, American, African, and Asian. Now see, there's no proof in this. There's no proof that it was widespread mixture. In fact, we know it wasn't. We know it wasn't widespread mixture because we can look at records and we can see Negro family trees with no mixture. We even read the other day that they was talking about some mixed Indians with no Indian blood. That makes sense, right? It's like these black Indians are mixed Indians, but they're not mixed with any red men. That's what they was basically saying. So we know all this intermixtures is not even true. If any intermixture was maybe 1 to 2% of the populace, white people were sticking to their own, Negroes are sticking to their own, and everybody else is sticking to their own. These fake Native American people, we all know that ain't what it is. It say whether, and now let's read this. It say whether Native American people, whether of unmixed ancestry or mixed with other stocks. See how they try to say that they always try to say the Native American they try to say is a lot of mixed people, which is untrue. Whether of unmixed ancestry or mixed with other stocks were at times affected by the tendency to create a purely white or black social system. See, this is modern day explanation of this. See, look what they're saying. He trying to make sense of this. He was like they were at times affected by the tendency to create a purely white and black social system. No, it was well, he don't get it. Was purely white and black. They didn't create a purely white and black. In their eyes, it was purely white and black. There was no red man. Read between the lines. They saying it was they talking about they created a white and black. Bitch, it was white and black since day one. We seen the original tobacco Indians. Fool, you can't fool us. Talking about they created the white and black system. We know what the original Indians looked like. The black and white system was already in place from day one. There was no red man. Stop the bullshit. Dummy. Now, this is what I mean by reading through these hijacks. They want to explain you saying you somehow mixed, but you ain't mixed though. Especially when living away from a reservation or the ancestral homeland. Okay, in the British slave colonies of North America along the Atlantic coast, many persons of American ancestry, Native Americans, American Indians. If it's American ancestry, that means indigenous American Indian. Look, were at times classified as blacks, Negroes, mulattoes, or people of color. Let's stop right there. And it was not at times. They were all the time. This is how they did the paper genocide. They stopped calling you niggas an Indian and start calling you blacks, mulattoes, people of color. And look, they telling you this. It say the manner in which Americans and part Americans were sometimes classified, not sometimes, all the time classified as mulattoes and people of color. Look, where it had all the, wait a minute. In the first sentence right here in the second paragraph, in the British slave colonies of North America, the United States and Canada, along the Atlantic coast, they talking particularly in the U.S., many persons of America, many American Indians were at times, were all the time classified as blacks, Negroes, mulattoes, and people of color. So, all right, let's talk about these $5 red men again.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Read it and weep, Mr. $5 red man. If you was a real Native American, if you on the Dawes Road and you a real Indian, you should have ancestors with census records, birth certificates, death certificates, and all kind of paperwork that say black, Negroes, mulattoes, and people of color. If you don't have that in your ancestry, you are not a real Native American. You are not a real American Indian. And if you don't have it in your ancestry,
sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
Who does? if you don't have paperwork proving that your ancestors were classified as blacks, Negroes, mulattoes, and people of color, you are not American Indian. The only people on earth that has these records are the real Indians. The real Indians, the only people on earth that got records of their ancestors that say blacks, Negroes, mulattoes, and people of color. And these terms, look, they're gonna see now. They want to try to hijack. Was of course also used for African ancestors. See, no, it wasn't no also. You use those terms on the Indians. Now you're trying to call them African. You threw one more term in there. You called the Indians in the 18, 17, 1600s. You called them blacks, Negroes, mulattoes, or people of color. Anybody on a reservation claiming they're a Cherokee, anybody claiming they're a Creek, anybody claiming that they any kind of American Indian, you better have this in your ancestral paperwork. You better be able to pull up a census record showing me they called your great-great-great-granddaddy black. They called your great-great-great-grandmama Negro. They called your great-great-great-auntie mulatto. You better be able to show me this. Or the records say, and history say, you are not an American Indian. So, and I know it ain't in your record. I know it ain't in your record.
Your $5 ass down
I know
before I
your
make
$5 ass ain't got no records of your ancestors that say blacks, that say Negroes, mulattoes, or people of color. But I wonder who does. I wonder who does. Well, you know who does? You know who got them? Knockers like you and I. Salute. Knockers like you and I. The real Indians have these classifications in their ancestors' paperwork. Now here we back to the family tree. My tree again. I'm going to share some more of my family with y'all. We right here looking at my second great grandmother, Leah Addison, Leah Blanding. This is my great great grandmother, a paternal grandmother on my father's side. Let's take a look at her classifications. And I got 7 sources on her docket right here. Leah Blanding, that's her married name for my great great grandfather, Edward Blanding. Now, when we look at her 1870 census record right here, Leah Blanding, race black, birthplace South Carolina, born in 1842. The estimated, because they don't really know. Watery Township, Kershaw, South Carolina. Indigenous Naga, Indian names. All right, she's black on that. The 1870 census. Couple of family members, you know, 12 tribes of Jacob, Joseph. You know what I'm saying? Peter, Mary, all up in there. Yeah, keep telling y'all the Israelites is not a religion. All right, here go Leah Blanding in the United States 1880 census. They just was calling her black. Now they calling her a mulatto. She was married, of course. Born. Now they got the birth year saying it's 1850. They're very confused about us. Father's birthplace, South Carolina. Mother's birthplace, South Carolina. So they call her black and mulatto. Let's keep score. They call her black and mulatto already. That's 2 of the terms. They said in British slave states, they was calling them black, Negro, mulatto, and people of color. We already saw black and mulatto. Let's keep pushing. Let's keep pushing. Down here, we got a death record. Leah Addison, her maiden name. Mother, Luna Harris. This is another family member that passed, but Leah was her mother. You know what I'm saying? Edward, my great grandfather, is her father. This is one of my aunts. But look, listed as color. So we just went from black to mulatto to color that quick. 3 records. Race listed as color. Race listed as mulatto. Race listed as black. I could pull one more to say Negro, but I'd be damned. I'd be down according to history, according to American history. In the British slave colonies of North America along the Atlantic coast, many persons, many Negroes, American Negro Indians, were at times classified as blacks, Negroes, mulattoes, and people of color. If you claiming you are Indian, I need to see your paperwork. That Dog's World ain't shit.
Shakalaka!
We know white people and fake Indians paid $5
Sit
to get
your
on the
$5
Dog's
ass
World.
down
We
before
know
I
that
make
ain't
change.
nothing. We need to see the real paperwork. We need to see what line up with history. I don't need no fake shit. I need to see what, hey, Jackie Salah in the house, Old Breeze in the house, 305 War Chief in the house, salute Tribe Up. Trying to put him up in here. We need to see the real facts. We need to see the real facts. We don't need to see no Dog's World. We know that's flawed. That's corrupted. The Dog's World is corrupted. So like you can't come with the Dog's World talking nothing. How about coming with a Freedman Roll and it's telling us that the Indian Negroes was the tribe. It's telling us that the tribe was Indian Negroes on the Freedman Roll. It ain't say nothing about no red man. And then you want to say these Negro slaves. You want to say these Indian Negro slaves. That's a lie. That's a lie. That was the tribe. And the Negroes did have slaves, probably from another tribe, because it shows us it's 151 Indian Negroes, 14 slaves. The slaves was included with the regular Negroes as warriors, 165 total. 14 plus 151 is 165. So I'm not even sure the ones you got listed as slaves was really slaves. I don't know if I should even believe that.
Big dummy.
All I know is they was all Negroes and 123 women and children. So the history don't match the $5 Indian.
Sit your $5 ass down before I make change.
The history. I'm sorry, Mr. Red Man. The history don't match you. It does not match you. And it's so many. It's a million ways to prove it. It's a million ways to prove it. It's a million ways to prove it. Even when I look at my great granddaddy Willis James, not Willis James, they mispronounce. You know, the census jokers always playing. Listed as black on the he was born in March 1870. He listed as black on this census record right here. Father and mother born in Georgia. Go back to all his sources. They did the same thing with him though. He listed as black, Negro, mulatto, color. I mean, they just taking turn remixing it. I mean, the red man can't show you nothing like this. The red man, this is on my family tree. Y'all see it. Y'all learned my government name. Y'all see it. It's my tree. But the red man can't show you. They can't just do this because they live in the lie. I mean, it is what it is. They live in the lie, man. I mean, that's an easy way to say it without being too disrespectful. I can get disrespectful, but they live in the lie, man. They live in the lie, bro. So it's so easy to disprove them. It's so easy to disprove everything that they're saying. And we're gonna look at this article. It's 13 pages. We might read it all. It depends on how I feel by the time I get in it. They start hijacking them. I ain't read all of it. I read some of it, but I felt like this would be something good to talk about. They start hijacking it, we're gonna do what we do. The youth, and this is also by Jack D. Forbes also. The use of racial and ethnic terms in America. Management by manipulation. Let me blow it up so we all can see the text. Let me blow the text up some. What the? Alright. It's always got to be a hijack somewhere. I'll try and just get a good blow up so everybody can see what I'm reading at. Let me see. Let's see how I can do this. Hold on. Let me get the screen straight. Alright, right there. I guess that's all we're going to be able to work with. Hold on. No, I got it. Let me use the software too. Pick it up on the software. Yeah. Alright. I hope y'all can see this. I mean, we got time. I ain't never in a rush. You know, life's short anyway. You know, Monaga. So gotta cherish the moment sometime, Monaga. We all here tonight. Somebody could be gone tomorrow, so we gotta appreciate everybody and spread love and cherish the moment. The continent of America, also known as the Middle Continent or the Western Hemisphere, is subdivided into North America, Central America, and South America. Now, I hope everybody ain't missed that, because some people out here confused about what America is. Let's read that first paragraph again. America, also known as the Middle Continent or the Western Hemisphere, is subdivided into North America, Central America, and South America. It's not just the United States. Boy, I mean, I know 10-year-olds that know this. I know 5th grade. Don't tell me so many knockers ain't smarter than the 5th graders, because we really had some serious arguments about this a little while back. People was all typing fast, misspelling stuff. Like, Jack, America is the United States of America. Like, knocker, slow down. You misspelling shit. Knocker, you all mad. No, that's not true. You've been misled. Haitians are Americans. Jamaicans are Americans. Talking about indigenous people. Brazilians are Americans. This is different. Canadians are Americans. It's different parts of, I know y'all like Kendrick Lamar's song. I like his song too. But Canadians are Americans, man. So we can't be ignorant. And I'm talking about indigenous people. I'm not talking about everybody. I'm talking about indigenous people. The Nagas. You know what I'm saying? Indigenous peoples have a bit of a problem, however, in that, one, the United States and its dominant European origin citizens have attempted to preempt the terms America and American. And two, there has been a strong tendency, especially since the 1780s. Y'all remember that date, the 1780s? That was when they say it was the peak of their so-called African slave trade, which we know it was the peak of when they were snatching up Indians. To deny to indigenous Americans the right to use the name of their own land. As a matter of fact, there is a strong tendency to also deny native people to use the name of any land within America, such as being Brazilian, Mexican, Canadian, and so on, unless the term Indian is also attached, as in Brazilian Indian, as American Indian is used instead of American. Some people believe that America as a name stems from the mountain range known as Amérique.
Et l'Amérique négrée.
Located in Nicaragua. Others believe that it stems from a wood common to several American languages of the Caribbean and South America, namely Maraca, pronounced Maraca and Mbadaca. This word, meaning rattle or ground, is found as a place name in Venezuela, Maracapana, Maracaibo, Trinidad, Maracas, Puerto Rico, Maracayu, etc. Brazil, Maraca, Maraca, and elsewhere. And it's true, because it wasn't named after no Amerigo Vespucci. First off, that ain't even his real name. The Naga name Albertus Vespucci. And anyway, if you're gonna name a name after yourself, you're gonna name it after your surname, not your first name. So if it was really named after him, it would have been named Vespucci Land. Cudimayo did something on the Salud Cudimayo. So we know it ain't named after no damn Amerigo, and his real name was Alberto anyway. But the liars, man, they lie so much. They trying to do whatever they can to fool us. Many very early maps of the Caribbean region show an island located in the northwest of Venezuela, where Nicaragua is actually located, called Tamarac, which has been interpreted as T Amarac, standing for Tierra or Terra, land of Amarac. All of this is before America first appeared as a name on the mainland, roughly in the area of Venezuela. And of course, the colonizers just came and translated the name into something that they could understand. That's all they did, and then took credit. That's all they do. Lie and try to they done whitewash the name of America. Yeah, they whitewashed it and wrote it their way. They try to whitewash everything. Most of us have probably been taught that America as a name is derived from that of Amerigo Vespucci, a notorious liar and enslaver of native people. So he was an enslaver of the Indians. How did they look? They keep telling you they were slaving Africans. Don't be fooled. They was enslaving Negroes, but remember, all black persons don't include Negro, and all Negroes that include black persons. Remember, we read that first. So don't let them start telling you Africans and they was really enslaving Negro Indians. They got Nagas twisted. And it's so easy to see what the truth is. And then, boy, when you start doing your family tree, the evidence is very clear. Alberico, that's not a name rather than Amerigo. See, his name wasn't even Amerigo. His name was Alberico. So what they named after him? Liberia? They named they could have named America after him. The name was Alberico. It may well be that the name America is not derived from his name, but we know for sure that it was first applied to South America or Central America and not to the area of the United States. From the early 1500s until the mid 1700s, the only people called Americans were Americans First Nations people. Now look, see, this is the funny part for all the Nagas who was arguing me up and down. America is the United States, man. See, Columbus discovered America. Columbus never stepped in the United States. Columbus landed in Haiti. He discovered the Americas by landing in Haiti. Newsflash: Haiti is part of America. So see, Nagas we got to be correct about what if we gonna be the thought leaders when it comes to race identity and indigenous America. We got to be correct about everything we speak, and we can't be making foolish mistakes and saying something that somebody can easily come check you on. You can't be talking about, yeah, we the American Indians up here in the United States and fuck everybody else, because somebody gonna come make a fool out you that know more about geography than you do, that know more about ethnicity than you do, and you gonna make us look bad. It say the name is derived, but we know for sure it applied to South America first. So see, in the United States and Canada, we wasn't even called Americans. They was talking about the Caribbean and South America at first, according to this. But that's all the hijack, because all of this is the America or the Indies. Let's be clear, the Indies. From the early 1500s until the mid 1700s, the only people called Americans were America's First Nations people. Similarly, the people called Mexicans, Canadians, Brazilians, Peruvians were all our own native people. In 1578, for example, George Best of Britain wrote about those Americans and Indians, by which he referred to our Native American ancestors as Americans and the peoples of India and Indonesia. No, because he was talking about the people of India. India is in America. See, they so confused. They think he talking about Hindustan. And see, all they gotta do. How you know he not to see? Let's start right here. Let's pause, because see, I'm a real researcher, and I don't let people run off and just keep lying and move ahead. Let's see what he's saying. He talking about, for example, George Best of Britain wrote about those Americans and Indians. Now, this is his explanation. He go to assume by which he referred to our Native American ancestors as Americans and the people of India. That's his assumption. Because see, what he don't know is India wasn't even called India in 1492. When Columbus discovered the real Indies. In 1492, when Columbus was over here discovering the real Indies, not the West Indies, just the Indies, like he said, he didn't say, Columbus never said West Indies. He said he was going to discover the Indies, and he landed over here. At that same time in 1492, East India wasn't even called the East India at all. When Columbus was over here in 1492 finding the Indies, the East Indies was in 14. Hold on, look. Let me type it different. What was East India? See, you gotta treat the internet because they try to hide stuff called in 1492. But we know in 1492, that's when Columbus came over here and found the Indies. And then they all of a sudden they changed the name of Hindustan and telling you that was India, like this dude trying to do. He trying to say, yeah, they meant the Indian. No, they talking about India superior over here in America. Look. Hold on, man. See, we done did this before. what was in. Let me just put what was India. I ain't gonna put is in. What was India called in 1492? Boom. Kamala is not an Indian. She is Hindu. She from her people from Hindustan. In 1492, India, what you think is India, didn't even exist. It was called Hindustan. So once again, in 1492, it was called Hindustan. No country was known as India. The country that they thought was India was America. Columbus said he was looking for a route to the Indies. He landed over here, undiscovered land to them. Now, this, like I say, so when we see people put stuff like this, he making his assumptions. He making his assumption. He don't know what he even talking about, but he writing articles. This Jack D. Forrest, for example, George Best of Britain wrote about those Americans and Indians. He talking about us in India superior, but he don't know. This guy that wrote this, he don't know that. So he assuming, by which he referred to our Native American ancestors and as Americans and the people of Hindustan, not India. It was Hindustan, as Indonesia, as Indians. He don't know what he's talking about. See, it's so easy to prove this stuff. When you keep track of the timeline and what's going on, it is so easy to like. I need to be writing some articles, because like this is bad research that these people is doing, and they on here as official sources. But luckily, like, we ain't scared to read the hijack, and we use the hijack to see through it and disprove it. See, I don't run from hijacks. I take hijack on just so I can get a chance to disprove them and break their ass down. I love to break a hijack down.
Boom shakalaka!
India, the Americas was India in 1492 before the hijack came. Then the hijack and the whitewash went down. It's easily proven. So that's enough. I don't even gonna read too much of what he got. He got 13 pages. And he don't really know what he's talking about on a lot of it. But I just want to point him out a little bit, man. But the main thing I wanted to get on this is about these reclassifications of the American Indian, the American Negro Indian. It's right in our face. Jack Ford, he told us some stuff. He didn't understand everything what he was saying. He didn't understand. He was like, wait a minute. In the British slave colony, he's not doing research. In the British slave colonies of North America, along the Atlantic coast, many persons of American Indian ancestry were at times classified as blacks, Negroes, mulattoes, and people of color. He thinking, boy, the African slaves must have been escaping. That's what he thinking.
Boom shakalaka!
They were joining the red man. He's so confused because he can't even get a true understanding of what it is. See, I don't have to make up stuff to make sense of things. See, when you gotta make up too much stuff, talking about people mixing and you doing all this to explain nigglets. You doing all this to explain the nigglets. The answer is way simpler than you think. They on the road because they is the Indians. You was enslaving the Indians. That's why you call them freedmen. All this, and they call them Negroes, even niggas. Black, color, you call it everything that you call us. So I know who the real Indians is, in more than one way. I don't even need the Freeman role to pull it. I mean, it's just so obvious in y'all records and everything y'all say. But you so confused. You say they're African ancestry because you realizing that the Indians was Negroes. See, that's all this when they start saying this and they was enslaved and shit and they was African descent. They just giving it up that they was Negroes, man. There ain't no African descent. Basically, they saying he was some niggas. they assume because they confused. They done been brainwashed and told this was red man land. And they say, how the hell these niggas everywhere? They confused. They confused, man. All you gotta do is talk to the Most High and look right at home. My great granddaddy Edward Bland, they call that nigga everything in the book. Black, color, mulatto. They call the nigga everything in the book. Leah did the same thing. Call her black. Next time, let's change. Let's flip it next time. What we call it this time? Mulatto. We'll go with mulatto this time. You know what I'm saying? Where you from? Africa? Where your mama from? South. When you born? 1850. Oh, so slavery ended in 1865. Then my great grandma would have been 15. Oh, she wasn't no slave though. The family wasn't split up and sold into slavery. She was like, man, we ain't from no damn Zimbabwe. My daddy was born in South Carolina and my mama too. Yeah, they call her mulatto that time. Then we get further down, they start calling her colored, black. They say mulatto. They say she too dark to be a mulatto. But they say, but she don't look like an African. They say, well, yeah, just call her colored. Shit, fuck it. They gonna make a black umbrella. Yeah, the red man ain't got it. The red man ain't got it. The red man ancestors was not called black Negroes and mulattoes. They were called Kung Fu Chinamen. That's what they're from Iberia and all that there. The Euraphrasians. The proof is in the pudding, man. It's just, I say it's more than one way to prove it, y'all. More than one way to prove it, man. More than one way. You can use the maps, but you don't need them. You can use the Bone Savage clocks, but you don't need them. You can use the Racial Integrity Act, but you really don't need it. I mean, evidence is just all over the damn place. You just gotta be really just brainwashed not to see it. Like a lot of our people brainwashed. A lot of colonizers brainwashed. I mean, that was the plan. That was the plan for the education system. Just brainwash everybody. We got to make these white kids feel good about themselves. We can't let them know that they came over here as indentured slaves. Y'all remember we was looking at that? Y'all ain't forgot. Y'all ain't forgot. We know they came over here on the slave ships. Was them. They was coming from Africa and Europe. Y'all ain't forgot. They was calling you freedmen. You had a freedman bureau. You had bank. You ain't even have to work for real. They was getting mad. Y'all, I know y'all ain't forgot. We got it all in the community post. We know who the real slaves came over as indentured slaves. Where's that? Right there. We know who was mad because their ass had to work and you was chilling. Their ass out here plowing fields. Shit. You out here living larger life, cooling. They were giving you money. We know the truth. That's why I'm just saying, these folks with this land, boy, they don't want us to go there, man. They really don't want me to go there. They don't want me to go there. I can go there till I die. You know what I'm saying? They're like, this nigga won't shut up. He keep coming with more and more. I say we don't need a Dawes Road. We don't need a Bone Sack. We don't need a Tobacco Indian and all. There is so much evidence that you really go to look and you're going to be stumbling over stuff. You know what I'm saying? There's evidence on every angle. You can't talk about the Indians without talking about us, because it was us. You can't talk about the Indians without talking about the Negro, because the Negro is the Indian. It's facts. It don't matter if you talk about artifacts. It don't matter if you talk about language. It don't matter if you talk about clothes. It don't matter if you talk about food. It don't matter if you talk about tribes, the lands. You cannot talk about it without talking about us, because it was us. Them other people tried to insert themselves.
Sit
Those
your father
are
lies
lies.
down before I make
Wake up
change.
out of the brainwash, Managa. Wake up out the brainwash. Everybody been lied to. They wanted little Brad and Becky to have to be able to sleep easy. They didn't want them feeling guilty, Managa. They wanted you. They wanted you feeling like you was out of place. They wanted Becky and Brad feeling right at home.